The movie opens up in a house in the suburbs where Hal lives with his wife and teenage son. Hal is extremely fond of video games and has a room dedicated to them where he plays them often. One night, while playing games, Hal comes across a game called Cursor. The game starts on its own and begins to ask Hal weird questions. Hal has a beer in his hand, and the game asks if he wants another beer, to which Hal responds, yes. All of a sudden, a bottle appears on the table. The game asks Hal if he wants the lights in his room to be turned on or off. Hal types that he wants them off, and suddenly, the lights go off. Soon, the game asks him if he would like to cut out his son's tongue or his wife's ears. Hal does not respond, and the game tells him to choose or die. Hal tries to shut off the game, but fails to do so. As he tries to leave the room, he has an intense headache. When he leaves the room, he finds that his wife has cut out their son's tongue, but does not remember doing it. Back on his computer, the game displays that Level 1 is complete. The scene then cuts to 3 months later. Kayla gets off work and goes to see her friend Isaac, who designs video games. We learn that Kayla is fond of designing video games as well. She is unable to pursue her passion due to her mother's poor health and financial position. One evening, after Kayla gets off from work, she visits her friend Isaac, who tells her that he has received some old game-related junk equipment. Kayla excitedly goes to explore it and finds Cursor hidden among it. She grabs it and sees the label where it says that if they play the game and win it, they will be given a huge cash prize. She plays the CD, and Hal shows up on the screen and tells them they can win the cash prize. Kayla begs Isaac to play the game with her so that they can divide the prize money. Isaac agrees, but tells her he has to work and cannot play with her immediately. The next day, Kayla gets off work early and decides to go to a cafe. She opens up her laptop and starts the game. She texts Isaac to meet her at the cafe, but he does not respond as he is busy working. Meanwhile, the game begins to proceed and asks Kayla why she thinks she is deserving of the prize. When Kayla does not respond, the game then asks her if she prefers cake or coffee. Confused by the unusual question, Kayla checks the cafe menu and realizes that the cafe only offers cake and coffee. She types in that she would like a coffee. All of a sudden, a waitress appears at her table with a cup of coffee. Kayla tells the waitress that she did not order coffee, but then the waitress tells her that she looks tired and asks if she needs to sleep. Everything that the waitress is saying appears on the screen and causes Kayla to freak out. She immediately closes the laptop to stop playing the game, but is suddenly transported to a room with fog all around her. A little boy hidden in the shadows tells Kayla to choose or die. She then opens her laptop and types yes. Suddenly, the waitress starts to break glasses, and the game once again asks if the waitress should continue breaking the glasses or if she should clean them up. Kayla types that she should clean them up. To her horror, the waitress picks up the broken glass and starts to eat it, causing her mouth to start bleeding. Kayla rushes to help the girl, but the owner of the restaurant appears in front of her and starts to scream at her loudly, scaring Kayla. Mustering up the strength, Kayla pushes down the owner and rushes to the girl to stop her from eating the glass. On her laptop screen, the game shows that Level 1 has been completed. The next morning, Kayla wakes up to find a police officer outside her home. He is questioning her mother about something when it is revealed that the small boy she saw last night was her younger brother, who had passed away after he drowned in a pool. Kayla then goes to visit Isaac and asks him where he got the game from, but Isaac does not know. Kayla then leaves for her night shift after Isaac promises her that he will find out where the game came from. Kayla arrives at her job and begins to work, when, at 2 a.m., her mother calls her and tells her that rats are coming out of the wall and that they are attacking her. The scene changes to show that there is a computer on that floor where Cursor has started on its own and Level 2 has started. In the game, she has to help a woman get away from a rat. The game asks her where the woman should go, the living room or the bathroom. In reality, the woman is Kayla's mother. She then begins to hear her mother's screams as well, causing Kayla to panic. The game continues to ask Kayla to make a choice. Kayla then tells her mother to jump from the window and get away from the rat. To protect herself, Kayla's mother jumps from the window. And with this, the second level ends. The game then tells Kayla that they will meet the next night at the same time. Angrily, Kayla kicks and breaks the computer. Just then, one of the workers sees Kayla and fires her from the job due to the damage she has caused. Upset, Kayla visits her mother at the hospital, who is there due to the injuries she sustained by jumping from the window. Her mother asks Kayla why she looks worried, but Kayla tells her not to worry about it. That night, when Kayla returns home, she sees that the rats have ruined her home and destroyed it. Just then, a tenant comes up to Kayla and tells her that they will be kicked out of the apartment due to the damage done by the rats. Kayla rushes to Isaac's home, tells him about the video game, and shows him pictures of her destroyed apartment. At first, Isaac is skeptical, but he eventually believes her, and the two decide to play it together. Kayla tells him that the game turns on at 2 a.m. every night, and they have no say on when to play the game. Isaac tries to change the coding of the game, to turn the sounds off, and to end it. But once the clock strikes 2 a.m., the game starts again, and level 3 begins. The game somehow knows that Isaac is now playing the game, and asks Kayla if she needs her friend's help or not. Kayla tells Isaac that she does not want his help, but then she hears a loud noise and is forced to type yes. Isaac gets worried about Kayla when, all of a sudden, 2 doors appear in front of them. The game asks Kayla to choose between the red and the blue door. When they don't hear any sounds from behind the door, Kayla chooses the red door and walks inside. Isaac follows her down the corridor when Kayla spots her younger brother there. She runs after him, and Isaac tries to stop her, but she does not listen, and the two eventually reach a foggy pool. They get separated due to the fog, and suddenly, Isaac gets attacked by Kayla's brother, who kills Isaac. The game then asks Kayla if she wants to save Isaac or her brother. Kayla begins to understand that the game is trying to trap her. She chooses to save Isaac when her brother attacks her. The two fight, and Kayla kills her brother by telling herself that everything is happening inside the game and not in reality. With this, Isaac comes alive, and level 3 ends. The next morning, Isaac and Kayla sit together, and she tells Isaac that she blames herself for her brother's death. She used to take him swimming every day, but one day she got distracted and her brother drowned. Isaac assures her that she does not need to blame herself and that it was purely an accident. Isaac then hacks the cursor game and finds an address. The two friends drive up to the address and see that the gate is closed and the house looks abandoned. They climb to the door and go inside the house. They come across a hallway where Kayla calls the number given with the address, and the phone begins to ring in that house. They follow the ringing and come across an old computer. Isaac finds a cassette that says Cursor Beta 1. They play the video where the creator of the video shows up. Isaac tells Kayla that they should take the cassette back with them when, all of a sudden, the game starts again. The creator shows up and tells them that they will have to pay for cheating on the game. Isaac gets trapped behind an invisible wall, and the game asks Kayla to choose to fast forward or replay. Confused, Kayla chooses fast forward when a reel starts to come out of Isaac's mouth. Kayla tries to stop it, but is unable to, and Isaac dies as a result. And level 4 is completed. Kayla then drives away from the property and begins to head through a forest. She receives a call from her mother's phone, and the same tenant who had threatened her earlier answers the call and mocks Kayla. Frustrated, Kayla gets out of the car and begins to walk through the forest, and comes across a huge, modern house. She goes in and finds Hal sitting there with his injured son and wife. Kayla tells him that the game sent her. He then tells Kayla that the game told him it will leave him alone if he makes copies of the game and distributes them. The 5th level starts, and he tells Kayla to fight Hal. Hal attacks Kayla, but instead of hurting her, he cuts himself. The two of them begin to understand that if they harm themselves, they will be harming the other person. Kayla then cuts her hand, causing blood to gush out of Hal's hand. Hal's son shows up and begins to shoot at Kayla, but ends up harming his father. His wife begins to understand the complexities and steals the gun from her son and goes to shoot Kayla because she wants to get rid of her husband. Hal manages to tackle her and puts the gun to his temple, but the gun has run out of bullets. Kayla then jumps into the pool where she drowns, and water gushes out of Hal's mouth, killing him. Kayla wins the game and takes control of it. She makes the tenant play the game, and he dies while playing. She receives a call from the owner of the company she works at, and he asks her whom she will select to play the game. The movie ends with Kayla telling him that she will only make people play if they truly deserve the pain.